You've often heard, can one man make a difference? This morning's guest will tell you yes, because he knew him. Hear the story of David Heckman, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Agape Senior Assisted Living in Garden City, a little north of Inlet Square Mall. We're focused on the Charleston Cafe and its owner, David Heckman, and we're visiting with his former business partner, Nelson Hardwick. Good morning, Nelson.
Good morning.
Representative Nelson Hardwick.
Yes, sir.
Of House District 106.
Thank you.
How exciting to get you in. Just last Thursday, we had a soon-to-be House member, Rita Allison, who is just rejoining the House in January. Will be joining you all in a few months, and very exciting to have her on. And, of course, to follow up this week with Representative Nelson Hardwick. I see you're wearing your House of Representatives tie.
Yes, sir.
Here on a Friday morning, which is very handsome. I hadn't noticed that until just a second ago.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking tie.
Yeah. I met Rita. She worked with the governor's office when I went up my freshman year, and we have a great relationship, and I look forward to serving with her.
Yeah, she's very excited to get back. She's very excited to get back. And, of course, it's exciting to get you back in. It seems like the last time we were together, we were actually up on the top floor of a bank at a Keller Williams office, highlighting, I think, the Terry B. Cooper Award and the celebration there of the, of course, you were the inaugural winner of that award for the South Strand Republican Club, and I think they gave it out again this year to, I believe, Ray Cleary. Senator Ray Cleary, which is very exciting. That's now a sought-after award by a lot of folks there who are either active or inactive with the South Strand Republican Club.
Yeah. I've had two very good friends and business partners, Terry and Dave, and lost them, and it just, but it's just been a blessing to know both of them.
Yes, very definitely. It is tough to sit here and think about. It was amazing to see, and reading back about Nelson Hardwick, about yourself, that it was November of '04 that you were elected successfully to the House District 106, and to think that Terry has been gone longer than November of '04, because obviously he died prior to your election. That's amazing. Golly, this January will be 5 years.
Exactly.
Boy, time has flown, Nelson. I guess your summer's flying by as well.
Absolutely.
You had a good summer?
Yes, sir. Very good summer.
Anything big going on? You and Marty taking any big trips this summer? Or?
We're on vacation this week in Kiowa.
Great, good. Thank you for
down
coming back up to be on the show.
And around the 4th, we had all the grandkids down.
Is that right?
For about 10 days.
All six?
All 6 of them.
Wow.
So we had a large time between backyard activities and down on the beach. It was wonderful.
That is exciting. And you're 3, Nelson. 2 of them are here in the area, and 1 of them lives in Florence.
Right.
So everyone's at least in the PD or the Strand.
Sure.
That is wonderful. Of course, I was particularly excited to see that Hardwick & Associates is celebrating its silver anniversary this year.
That's correct.
In 2008. To think back to 1983. What was that like, Nelson, kicking off your engineering firm back in 1983?
It was just just good. I mean, I had a lot of friends who wanted me to do a little work for them, and so we just started with the business, and I operated a couple of years there, and then Barry Green came to work for me, and he's probably been with me 20 plus years now.
Right.
And then later on, my son finished at Citadel, and he came, and he's been working with us. So
Ira,
yeah, and just pleased about that.
That is tremendous. He's been with you now, golly, almost, what, a decade? Or?
Oh, no, he's been with me longer. When he was in high school, he used to come up and draw plans for me. When he was going to college, he'd come in and work at least a day a week.
Free labor.
Yes,
I love it.
And no, it wasn't free.
Oh, okay,
but
good.
It was good labor.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That is tremendous.
Yeah.
That is tremendous.
It's great, like I say. And all my, real estate, I've always had good business partners. And that's one of the things, I think one of my traits is that you're missing something in life when you don't have partners and people to share your life with and life experiences. And I have been very fortunate to have a lot of good ones.
Relationships is essential. Should be your middle name.
And it's just the synergy of working with people and getting more done, as a group.
Right.
How what you get done just multiplies. beyond your capabilities, the sum of the capabilities of the group, basically, is what I find. And I just enjoy that, seeing things come together. Serving with people, same thing with politics.
Very definitely. And the House of Representatives. Interesting, we kicked off this month at a bank right in front of us, Tidelands Bank, and on July 4th we had someone you're going to be working with over the next many years, Andy Lesnick, on the show. And of course he talked a little bit about the soon-to-be launching bank, Coastal Carolina National Bank. Now we're wrapping up the month.
Right.
Of course, yesterday we had Jay Huggins on, the president of Crescent Bank, another great community bank.
Sure.
And then yourself, who are helping to organize and kick off Coastal Carolina National Bank, which is very exciting.
It is exciting.
A lot going on in it. And much of that is driven by relationships. Clearly, the ability to expand your relationships in the community, get other folks to step on board to help kick off the bank. A lot that has to happen there.
It is, and like I say, and then last week we opened again the cafe on the I think 17th.
Great, good.
And for dinner, we had the bar open for a couple of weeks, and just trying to get the staff and everybody back in the routine. We freshened the place up a little,
right?
And that was an exciting week for us. And it's a lot of members there. You get in there and you start doing some things, and you see so much of David behind. Right. It's emotional and but exciting. Life goes on.
Yes, well, life had to go on with the loss 5 years ago almost, and now going on again with the loss of David. Of course, he just shared with viewers who may have never been to the Charleston Cafe a little bit about its. Of course, it wasn't founded by David, but purchased by David in '89, I believe. Yeah. Share with viewers, and the gentlemen, the folks who owned it, sold it, I believe, right before Hurricane Hugo. Right. Yeah. A great story that David enjoyed sharing. But share with viewers a little bit about David Heckman and how the Charleston Cafe expanded over the last 20 years under his ownership.
Well, David was just a unique guy. He early on he went to seminary, so and when he came down here, he joined a church. Episcopal church there in Surfside Beach when we used to worship there at the Little Red Church on Pine Street. I met him there, and we were customers at the Charleston Cafe for many years. And one day he was talking to me. He said he'd like to do a few more things and needed a partner, and so we got involved. He told me what it would be, and it's funny. Marty and I were in a hurry to go somewhere, and I told him we'll figure it out what it'd take. And he called me and said he got the number, and I said, well, I'll come by. And I came by with a check and went in, and he gave me the number, and I said, a little bigger than I thought. But, I said, okay, I'll do it.
Wow.
I said, what day is it? And he said, the day is April the 1st. I remember going back out to the car and getting in with Marty, and I said, well, this is going to be a real interesting proposition, I'm sure. I've never known anybody that started anything on April Fool's Day.
No, yeah.
But it was just fun and frolic. David...
what year was that, Nelson?
I've got to look it up. I can't think of the date
more
right
than
now.
5 years ago.
Oh, yes. We're talking 15...
Near the early point of... He purchased in '89, so 19 years ago.
I'm thinking probably 93, 94, somewhere.
Right. Wow.
But anyway, Dave had a remarkable ability to remember people and their names, what they drank, and what they enjoyed. I've just been amazed. I was a very silent partner in the business. Dave ran it, and he just, anniversaries, birthdays, any kind of special occasion, he just always had a list of that. He always took care of people. It was just an amazing thing. We got plaques in the Charleston Cafe from various families and folks that ate with us, and always sit in the same booth. And my daughter was she's she does X-rays over in Florence. She met a doctor over there, and he was telling her it's been about 6 months ago that it was about time for him to go down for his anniversary. And when she told him that her parents lived in Surfside, he said, well, we go down to the Charleston Cafe. He said,
no.
But I'm telling you, people from all over the PD, Charlotte,
Right.
North, anywhere, you
Yeah.
could run into people there that were down for a birthday or an anniversary.
Right.
And golfers would come in year after year and have one meal there. But he always made it special. It may be a little vase with a flower in it, or a hokey little happy birthday thing across the thing. But people just enjoyed him, and that was his base, his outreach for service to people.
Yes.
If you were down on your luck and you needed to wait tables, he'd have somebody new in there. I mean, he just was an amazing and very good friend. I'm proud to be his business partner. Proud to be his brother. I mean, brothers in Christ. Nobody could put on a function like David Heckman.
You're right.
In our church, we had dedications, we had funerals, we had any time that we had a liturgical event, David had to be in the middle of it. And he served our church very well. We've had the fortune through our church to have two good priests come out of it, Ed Kelleher and Tommy Tipton. After Dave's mama came down probably 10, 12 years ago, she lives down at Litchfield. And David known Tommy, and it kind of helped sponsor him through into the priesthood and stuff. And so very convenient for his mother. And he moved his membership down there. And
Tommy had been here in Surfside and moved down to Pawleys Island.
That's right. And so it was just, I know anytime they did anything down there, Dave was a very big part of it. And with our church also. He just had this knack of welcoming people, remembering them, remembered what was interesting to them, and it's just amazing. And
sending notes. His notes are so popular. I still have one that I brought to his funeral. I remember just having it in my shirt pocket. There was a little note when I had won an award sometime back in November. He'd written a little note about it, something like, it was just a real sweet note. I knew all they had to do was ask me, essentially, something like that. I knew you could win something like that. I mean, it was just a real sweet, very direct, and right between the eyes there.
Oh, yeah.
Knew how to reach your heartstrings.
Absolutely. And it just seemed like it always come at a time you need a little lift or need a little nudge or something. I was just amazed at that. I'm more of an email guy. My handwriting is not very good. And so I do, I'll email you, but a note, a little personal note, nobody could do it better than David Heckman. I had a young man, it's Tommy Kelleher. His birthday was about the time that David passed, and he said he could never remember not getting a birthday card from David Heckman. And it was probably one of the cards in his briefcase that was Tommy's, but he hadn't written it yet and mailed it and that sort of thing. But it was just, and with my kids, they grew up, and the two younger ones worked at the cafe.
Is that right?
Bussing tables. Or,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bussing tables and doing a few things there. And my youngest daughter, she always called him Uncle Dave. Melissa, she grew up. She was about the same age as Tommy, and they just. Dave was like family to a lot of families. Anyway, he just a precious soul.
Y'all were both good to open the restaurant up to nonprofit groups. I think literally the week before he passed, I'd been to an event there that he was hosting on behalf of Care Team, a Dining with Friends event. It was a wonderful event, well attended. And then literally at his funeral, saw many of the people were at that event. I saw Harold Stowe up there on the front row. He and his wife are near the front that were at that event. A lot of folks from Care Team that he cared a heck of a lot about and really made a difference. But also groups up and down the Strand who would get up $25 off or $50 off or gift certificates to the restaurant. Of course, I never knew about you said you're a very silent partner. I'd always seen you and Marty on all those TV spots. On Fox and PDE and BTW, everyone. Great TV spots running for the Charleston Cafe, and saw you all in there, so I knew you had some great relationship. Of course, you and Terry It had a lot of fundraisers there, and South Strand Republican Club probably kicked off
We did.
in the Charleston Cafe.
We did.
Really kicked off upstairs there in the Charleston Cafe.
Oh yeah, and Dave was he enjoyed politics. He had helped with campaigns back in Philadelphia, where he was from.
Right, of course, was instrumental.
Democrat and Republican.
Right.
But he just enjoyed politics, and he was always a good to run things by. I know
Sure.
with my campaign, he proofread everything for me.
Great.
But he was very good at that. He had an eye for detail, and just knew how to make things just a little better. He'll be missed. We we look forward to what I'm saying, having some folks come back through
Right.
and be with us again, because we're going to continue the name and continue the excellent service he always provided.
Yes.
He just when we had I guess it was a couple of weeks ago on Monday night, we opened the doors for a few folks to come in and kind of a little dry run to get everybody in tune, and we got several reservations. I think one of 12 and another one for 5 or 6. And
Great.
So,
Great.
I think we're going to have a good group come back, and we've got an excellent staff to serve them, and we just look forward to it and appreciate anybody coming back and
Absolutely.
one
Well,
more
the-
time.
of
Dave
course,
won't be there, but
yes.
he
Well,
is
but
in spirit.
We
Yeah.
want to hear about the new managing the partners there. Of course, this is a non-commercial show, and much of the focus is on you and David. But at the same time, let's hear a little bit about I think you said a couple.
Yeah, it's a couple that lives in Indigo Creek,
Right.
Kathy Locker and
Kathy.
Kathy, and so she's going to be our host there, and she just got a wonderful personality, very opening and warm and welcoming personality, and I think she's going to be a great asset and
Right.
run the business there, and so we just look forward to having people come back in, and it's just been just a wonderful experience, like I said, with Dave, and I think we're going to still have some great times there, and just invite anybody to come back by.
Yes, very definitely. We got about 5 minutes, Nelson, as you think about for you to see Surfside Beach grow. District 106 give viewers a sense of the House district that you serve and represent the residents of. Where does
Sure.
the district begin and end? Surfside Beach is a part of it.
Essentially, 544, and if you extend 544 to the ocean there, at Ocean Lakes Campground, come down Dick Pond Road to Big Block Road is, I think, the second or third traffic light out. Goes over to 701 and then goes over to Waterway, crosses over to Bucksville and Bucksport, goes down 701 to the Georgetown County line and back to Morrill's Inlet, and then back up to Ocean Lakes
Do
Campground.
you serve any of Georgetown County?
None. It's
All in
county line.
ORE.
All in ORE.
From 544 over
South,
to Bucks.
basically.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's tremendous.
It is, and it's a very fast-growing area. And
Wow.
lot-
What a
lot of-
great district, Nelson, to be able to represent, since you know this area so well.
Sure. Been
And
down
its-
here
and its
I think
residents.
26 years we lived down here.
Is that right? Yes. Albeit you are an Horry County native, tried and true.
That's right.
Other than your tenure there in Clemson,
Yeah.
both for your undergraduate and master's, and then maybe a little time outside of the area. Otherwise, you've been down here the whole time.
I worked for DHEC in Columbia for a little while, and then I worked with Grand Strand, and came down to work with Deerfield Plantation when they were kind of finishing up the last phase of development there.
I think I saw in reading about you this morning, Nelson, that you're the oldest of 4, and that your father was one of 9 and your mother one of 13. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that you have how many cousins?
64.
Is
first
it
cousins.
still 64
That's right.
first cousins?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they range from age of my mother to age of my children.
That is amazing, Nelson.
And it's remarkable. I probably could name 55 of them right now, but
I bet you could name all 64. You
Yeah,
just don't want to admit it.
yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
and that's just a little part of
Right.
growing up in ORE in the South. We enjoy getting together over meals.
Did you grow up on a tobacco farm?
Yes, I did.
So when you finally moved down to Surfside, was Surfside at all, was there any farming going on down here? I mean, when you moved down here, I've heard stories about Glens Bay Road being a lot of trees, not 25 years ago when you moved down. I mean, is this part of the county at all conducive to farming, or was it always that side of the waterway?
No, there's a lot of farming happened down here, out in the Burgess area, especially Sockers-T. When I came to work with Grand Strand, going into Watson's Riverside, I remember going in to make an inspection in Watson's Riverside, and Larry Ricks was plowing the field to set tobacco for his grandfather, Watson Smith, on the road going in there. But you could see cornfields and tobacco fields all over the Sockers-T area.
Right.
When I came down to work with Grand Strand and started putting the water and sewer lines. But
Yeah.
most of them are gone now.
Most of them are gone now. Ultimately, development has occurred on most of that area, I suspect. You mentioned Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority. I saw you were the acting director. Was it from 78 to 80?
For about a year and a half, probably.
Around that time?
Yeah.
Or sometime around those years,
Yeah.
which was tremendous, prior to launching 25 years ago, Hardwick and Associates.
Yeah. In the late 70s, I came to Surfside in September of 1980.
Right.
In fact, on my birthday.
Is that
That's
right?
what I remember.
September 19. Yes.
Right.
How exciting, Nelson. That's not far off. And, of course, to think about all the exciting things that have to happen, service in the House for you, this is now you were just reelected to your second term.
And I don't have any opposition in November for begin my third term.
That is exciting. So you'll begin in January.
Right.
January.
Second Tuesday of January to the first Thursday in June.
How exciting. What's the best part of representing folks here in District 106, Nelson?
Well, just helping people. I mean, people have a little problem here or there that you can solve for them. Trying to explain to the people in the state, how important that our economy is down here to supporting the state, and asking them to, help us with big ticket items. We don't get too much. We're a donor county. We're going to be one, but we need help on I-90. I-95 corridor over on 73. We got to have some help there. We got to have an evacuation route off the south end, and we just need some help from the state on some big ticket items. Help us with tourism promotions like they've been doing.
Right.
And that's what we kind of strive for. But from time to time, folks will have a problem with the government here or there, or trying to figure out how to get services, and it's just a joy to help people.
Is I-73 going to happen?
Yes, sir.
It is going to happen?
It is going to happen.
That is exciting. It's so dependent on so many other states. You think about Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. I mean, you've got all these states that are involved. Surely everyone's very supportive of it and excited about it, but it's just amazing to think about state interaction.
Yeah, well, everybody's concerned about the economy, but we're going to pull out of it, and we use the last one to go in and one of the first to come out of it.
Great,
yes. But that's on the agenda. It's going to happen, and the evacuation route for the south end, we're going to announce within a week or so the route for that. And
that is exciting. That's a big deal.
It is, very much.
That is a big deal.
That's one of the reasons they sent me up there, to make sure that we kept that on the front burner, and I-73, and I hope as soon as we get that underway, we can also do the evacuation route to tie in.
It can oftentimes be difficult to be a representative or a state senator, because ultimately you're up there representing the entire state.
Right.
You're represented by folks here in a district, but you've got to think about residents all over the state.
Sure. Well, we've got to stay focused on education, young people, and trying to provide them opportunities for education so that they can raise a family, stay close to home, and job opportunities. We got to keep a business-friendly climate here in the state, and those are things you got to be focused on. Trying to keep taxes where they need to be, and be good business proponents, because they're the people to provide jobs.
Nelson, it's been almost 3 months since David passed away. What do you miss most about David Heckman?
Oh man, where to start? Anytime I go through that front door, I expect him to be there. I still haven't got over that yet. He just stopped by and have a little chat with him, and he'd always had a little tidbit of information about something going on around town, somebody being sick, somebody's here, somebody's there. But he just kept up with so many people and touched so many lives. You talk about you got a card. With my daughter in 2005, when we went to Houston, she got a card every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Wow.
And so many people like that. I mean, anytime anybody was going through something, when he put you on his card list,
Right.
it was there. But you miss that, and you don't, you take it for granted. But I would hope that everybody that knew Dave was associated with him, that what he would want most for us is that he's not here any longer to send the little cards and notes and to do the little things that he always did to make us all feel good. And it's up to us to continue to help each other through tough times and to remember us on special occasions and to do things. And I'm going to try to do better. It's not my forte, but there was a line in the movie, I'm a persevered, I can't think of the name, but I'm going to do my best to do my part to make it a better place.
Right. Great words, Nelson. Sorry we run out of time. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
That's right.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to a little more with Representative Nelson Hardwick coming up next. A few years ago, Nelson got an email telling him that God places people in his life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. David Heckman's season has obviously come and gone, but the reason he was here, much like Nelson, was about relationships and the belief that relationships and helping others and making a difference and reaching out to others is what it's all about. Nelson's doing it. David did it every day. David's family now and many others around him can carry the ball and continue to make a difference in others' lives. Relationships is what it's all about. Nelson, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Absolutely.